Hey YouTube, Garage Guy coming at you, showing you my most recent project. It's my homemade generator. It's for doing work out in the backyard and stuff. I use a lot of power tools back there, too far to reach a cord. And also, I wanted to make a generator for the house. You know, we haven't lost power too much here, but it has happened. So, what I did here, and I don't suggest anybody doing what I did. Hold on, waiting for the fans to turn off. That's the cooling fans. This is running the house right now. But I got two suicide cords, and this is just a temporary setup again. But they're going to each side of the breaker panel and two different outlets, so I'm backfeeding the panel right now. The main is off on the house, so I don't electrify the street or anything like that, or friggin' blow up my inverter or wires. So right now, since this is running, and I just got two deep cycle batteries here, we're running at about 11.5 volts, and so it's because it's drawing power right now. We're about close to half load. This is just a cheap Harbor Freight power inverter. It's a 6,000 watt, 3,000 watt continuous. So I have it hooked up right now to a, let me show you here. It's a 250 amp output alternator that I made a bracket for, mounted to the front of the tractor here. And I got a pulley straight up top here, running back, and I got a 2-gauge line coming back. It ties directly into the battery here. And I still got to do disconnects and everything on this, and I want to put meters on it with wattage and my volts and all that. And I want to make a waterproof cover for this. Then here's my ground. I'm going to run this new line for this directly to the alternator, right where the mount is, get a little better current. You can keep hearing it cycling on and off because, like I said, this is running the house right now. Right now in the house, the wife and kids are in there, but I got the fridge running. I got a freezer downstairs. I'm sure every friggin' light in the house is on. I got a mini fridge going. I got an instant hot water heater, tankless hot water heater. I had the furnace already going and everything, and I have a furnace in the garage going. So, this thing, you could definitely hear it kick in. So I'm going to start it up for you, let you see what's going on. I'll turn the main off. I'll turn the main power off here, so that way I do a fresh start. Now when I do turn it back on, it's going to peak on power because everything's surging, starting up. And you're going to see the voltage drop way down. And I'll start it off on low RPM, so that way I could show you when I get the tractor up to a certain RPM that it starts putting out current and charging the battery. And when the load hits, you can hear the strain on the engine. This is my old 1970 Simplicity Solverine. Got this tractor from my grandpa. I love this tractor. It's got a 16 horse Briggs & Stratton on it. But anyhow, it's got more than enough power to run this. I've been thinking about switching out the pulley size to a little bit bigger, so that way I can run it at lower RPMs. So here we go. Let me get it started up. I'm going to kill the power to the house. Watch everybody come running out here. You'll see my voltage go up. So there we go. Let me cycle. All right, power's off to the house. My voltage is coming up, and you're not gonna be able to hear me for the rest of this. So I'm gonna start the tractor at low RPM. You'll hear me start raising the throttle up, and then as soon as it gets up to a certain RPM, it kicks in the alternator. As soon as the alternator kicks in, then I'll flip on the power inverter, and you'll see it skyrocket and the engine drop. So, all right, let me give it a shot here. I'm gonna raise the idle up. See it jump up in voltage. All right. Oh, I don't know how the radio turned on there. Anyhow, so you can see, and that was with lower RPM. The higher RPM, the more voltage I get out of it. But when I was running at this load here, I was still putting out over 13 volts. It will reach 14 if I do a high enough RPM, but it's basically, it's not drawing power out of the batteries, it's actually charging them at that point. I mean, when it is full load, it puts a load on the tractor for sure. But yeah, it's my setup. I'm actually quite impressed with it. So I am going to do a transfer switch with the breaker panel and everything, and have it you know, an outlet and everything mounted out here, and I want to do the watt meter and all that stuff eventually here. And I'd like to do like a Bluetooth or wireless one so I can monitor it from inside. And also I might do some kind of electronic fuel gauge so I know where I'm at on fuel and stuff like that, and hopefully I can you know, get all the info right on my phone. But that'll be a video for another time. So anyhow, that is my setup. Let me know what you guys think. You know, and like I said, don't do this. That's just temporary. This is going to be mounted all correct eventually. It's called suicide cord for a reason. All right, see you later.